Before brand deals, million-dollar studios, and people crying about changes in your video game, the YouTube meta was completely different. A time when uploading a random piece of gameplay could change your life forever. If you've been playing WoW for a good while, you will know the names Sodapoppin, WoWHobbs, and even Totalbiscuit, but most of you won't be able to tell me where they are now and what they do today. And since you guys really liked the first episode of the series, I decided to follow it up with another one. This is the story of the original WoW content creator generation.
Hey everybody, Kripparian here. This video is going to go over the basic skills required to do the maximum DPS for each class.
Octavian Kripparian Morrison influenced the World of Warcraft scene so much, but most of you don't even know that. Kripparian nowadays is known for his skill in other Blizzard games, such as Diablo or Hearthstone, where he got a huge popularity boost back in 2013. But in the mid-2000s, his real passion was World of Warcraft. In WoW, Kripp made a name for himself as the top DPS hunter, securing rank 1 in the leaderboards worldwide and even playing with the raiding guild Exodus, which at the time was one of, if not the best raiding guild out there. He took on insane challenges at the time, like the infamous Iron Man challenge, where he had to level a character under hardcore restrictions. He was the first person on the entire world to complete that challenge successfully, which earned him a dedicated following in the WoW community. Kripparian was basically the faker of World of Warcraft during the Lich King expansion, if you think about it. He didn't use his skills to flex on other players though. He created content like boss guides, gold guides, and many other videos similar to these topics to help the average player out. One of his first videos, named How to Do Top DPS in WoW, garnered a whopping 1.6 million views and is to this day one of his most viewed videos on his channel. Unfortunately, his WoW career ended rather quickly, at least online. Some say that he moved on to other games because he finished WoW and there was literally nothing else to do for him on there. Which is why, when Diablo 3 released, he shifted his content towards that game and was once again the first person to complete the Inferno hardcore challenge, before Blizzard had to nerf it to make it easier for anyone else. That moment alone put Kripparian on the map outside of WoW, proving he wasn't just a good player, but rather one of the best in any games he touched. But Kripparian's biggest leap in fame didn't come until the launch of Hearthstone. He was one of the most popular Hearthstone streamers in the world. He climbed to Legend rank, dominated the arena, and later became a staple in Hearthstone battlegrounds. Fans loved his ability to take bad decks and still make them work, which only proved his skill and creativity even more. Fast forward to today, and Kripparian is still going strong. On Twitch, he's racked up over 1.5 million followers, and on YouTube, he still continues to upload daily content where he focuses on a game called The Bazaar, a card game made by another prominent Hearthstone creator, Reynad. Kripparian is one of the most recognizable names in gaming. A far cry from his WoW Hunter days, but still carrying the same analytical edge and competitive spirit that made him stand out in the first place. I'm trying to reach the 10,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year, so if you enjoy this type of content and want to see me make more of those, consider subscribing and liking this video. It really helps out a lot and gives me the feedback I need to improve my content with every single video. Thank you. In the early days of YouTube, Warcraft had many creators showing raids, guides, and PvP highlights. But one stood apart massively. A channel dedicated not to the grind of the present, but to the history and the secrets and forgotten corners of Azeroth. That creator was HayvenGames. And while his story is tragically short, his impact still echoes in the WoW community to this day. He was the inspiration for my Secrets in Azeroth series, uploaded just a few months ago. Haven was a Swedish YouTuber who began uploading around 2013. His videos explored the unused and scrapped content of WoW. He showcased areas players were never meant to see, features Blizzard once designed but abandoned, and the fascinating evolution of zones and mechanics throughout the game's history. His content was special for many, because it was always so calm, thoughtful, and deeply researched in a time where content like scrapped zones or abilities was so difficult to access. He always brought attention to the what could have been of WoW, the content hidden behind developer walls or the ones forgotten in the files. Fans loved how he shed light on parts of Azeroth that even the most dedicated players had never seen before. It was nothing about competition, but more about preserving the history. But behind the scenes, Haven faced struggles far greater than anything in Azeroth. In his mid-20s, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Despite his illness, he kept creating videos, sharing his passion for the game, and being open with his community about the fights he's facing in real life. On January 8th of 2017, he uploaded a video titled Update About the Near Future, where he said that his illness got worse and he's currently living in the hospital, which hinders his production and content. But less than a month later, he came back with 3 consecutive videos, which led to many fans believing he's better now. But Unfortunately, 1 week later after his last upload, he passed away on March 18th of 2017 at just 26 years old. The news devastated his fans and the WoW community at large. In his memory, his channel remained online, and all future revenue from his videos and Patreon was pledged to cancer research, ensuring that even after his passing, his work could make a difference. Haven's videos remain a treasure trove for anyone interested in WoW's past. His careful documentation of the game's history continues to be shared, referenced, and discovered by new fans. Some fans even petitioned Blizzard for an in-game tribute to honor him, and many still leave comments on his videos, keeping his memory alive. If you'd like to support his legacy, consider checking out his channel. All revenue still goes to that cancer research.
Hi, I'd like to welcome you to my video on how I make money in SMCath. It's a 10-minute run. This is basically what I've been doing for a while.
HayvenGames began uploading in 2007, during the Burning Crusade expansion. He mainly became famous for his massive dungeon pulls, like charging into Scarlet Monastery and grabbing half the wing at once. The wild, high-risk pulls weren't just entertaining. They also showed players how to farm efficiently and level quickly. For many in the WoW community, HayvenGames was their first YouTube guide in Azeroth. His content was practical, fun, and ahead of its time. Leveling guides, gold making strategies, HayvenGames had it all. But more than just tips and tricks, he also added his personality into these videos. His videos felt like you were watching a friend experiment with the game, pulling entire rooms of mobs just to see if he could survive. Players nowadays still remember the HayvenGames way of pulling dungeons, a style that became legendary in the WoW community by HayvenGames. As the years went on and WoW changed, HayvenGames shifted his content with it. His YouTube uploads slowed down, but he stayed connected to his audience through Twitch streaming. He branched out into other Blizzard titles, especially Hearthstone, while still dipping back into WoW for Mythic Plus dungeons and classic nostalgia runs every now and again. Today, HayvenGames is still streaming on Twitch with nearly 100,000 followers. While his viewership isn't as massive as it was in the heydays of YouTube, he continues to share the same energy that made him so memorable in the first place. For longtime fans, tuning into HayvenGames streams feels like catching up with an old friend. And for new players, his channel is a link back to the roots of WoW content creation.
It's pretty bad the guy on the left has more balls than you do, mate. Grow a set and all in. Fuck you, Chance's balls.
Thomas Jefferson Chance Sodapoppin Morris IV was one of the top 3 biggest streamers in the World of Warcraft scene. Way before Twitch was even a thing, he was already sharing his gaming moments online, uploading WoW clips to platforms like YouTube and even Warcraft movies, while also streaming on Xfire. But what started as casual uploads would soon snowball into something much bigger. His mix of skill, comedy and trolling quickly got attention, and by the time Twitch came around in 2012, he already had a big community and fan base behind him. Soda blew up by streaming WoW full-time, but unlike most creators who focus on serious raiding or PvP tutorials, he leaned into the comedy and unfiltered trolling. He would constantly banter with chat, troll people in-game, or even call up Blizzard support and spend time asking them absolutely idiotic questions.
Because I'm doing some World PvP right now in this new Isle place, and I'm telling you right now, there's an 11-year-old, tons of acne. He just beat me in a 1v1. So this kid can go to his middle school, get made fun of, and come back home and still be happy because he can beat me in a 1v1 when I'm better than him.
Well, that doesn't sound very good.
It's not good. Exactly.
He wasn't only an online troll. Chance was also really good in PvP, specifically on his Feral Druid, collecting multiple rank 1 titles along his WoW journey. In a time where Twitch was so gameplay focused and people mainly watched you for your skills, Sodapoppin was able to shake things up and twist the focus of his content more to his character and his personality. This led to breaking viewership records no one had reached before, catapulting him to one of the biggest streamers worldwide at the time. He was so big in fact that in some days more than half of the total World of Warcraft viewership was in his stream, enjoying whatever dumb shit he could come up with that day. But eventually he decided to shift his focus from WoW to more variety, like League of Legends, Amnesia, or even gambling on Twitch. This was way before gambling got popular, by the way. These high-stakes streams propelled his fame to another level, which led to him gambling away $5,000 in a single hand of blackjack in front of tens of thousands of viewers live on stream in 2015.
Face card.
You can do it, bro.
Moments like this made him one of Twitch's most entertaining and unpredictable streamers. In 2016, Soda helped launch the esport org Northern Gaming, which just a year later was acquired by NRG Esports, and Soda became part of the ownership group, proving his influence stretched far beyond just streaming. As time went on, Chance became less about WoW and more about variety. He streamed everything, from indie games to party games to just chatting with his community. Nowadays, Sodapoppin is one of Twitch's biggest names, even though people call him out for being a dead content creator, and he himself admits to basically being retired at this point. He's also a member of the streamer collective OTK, appearing in their game shows and events alongside other top creators. Though he's been candid about burning out and not always enjoying streaming like he used to, he still entertains millions with his unique mix of chaos, comedy, and his build-up community. But there was always another person behind Sodapoppin's fame: Nick, aka NMP. Sodapoppin mentioned many times that without his best friend for many years, he could have never reached where he is today.
I did recruit a friend with my friend Nick, who's actually in the call with us here. He's black.
It's safe to say that Nick was one of many reasons why Sodapoppin is where he is nowadays.
But you know, I had a team behind me.
Yeah.
Like hey, I need this, you got it. Hey, I need this, I got it. Hey, let's try a dog cam, you set it up.
Yeah.
Right? So
it worked well.
It was a good setup. I don't want people to fucking not think you didn't do anything all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nubs of all ages, let's prepare for ponage!
John Totalbiscuit Bain developed a passion for gaming early on. Before his rise to fame, he studied law and hosted an extreme metal music show on Demon FM. His journey into the gaming world began in 2005, where he launched the World of Warcraft Radio, a popular fan-run station. This gained recognition from Blizzard and led to him being invited to cover BlizzCon in 2005. This exposure marked the beginning of his online presence. By 2006, Totalbiscuit had become known in the WoW community for his in-depth commentary. But soon, he would transition from radio to YouTube, where John adopted the name Totalbiscuit and began producing game reviews and commentary. His WTF Is series, where he provided first impressions of games, became particularly popular. He never sugarcoated things. If a game was bad, he said so. If it was brilliant, he explained why. His videos were concise, informative, and respectful of viewers' times. A formula that earned him a dedicated following and a reputation as one of the most trustworthy voices in gaming. World of Warcraft expansions were no exception. He covered everything from dungeon design, class balance, and raid difficulties all the way to player experience in PvP. His honesty and insight made him a trusted voice in the WoW community. Someone players could rely on to separate hype from reality. But even beyond reviews, John was deeply involved in the gaming community. He co-hosted the Co-Optional podcast and was a prominent figure in esports commentary.
On top of the bridge, he's got a very good view, and down goes the priest right down there, absolutely annihilated, and only the warrior left, warrior going down, being beaten to death, and that is it, that is the end of the game. Well done, fantastic.
His advocacy for consumer rights in gaming, particularly regarding DRM and pre-order practices, resonated with many fans.
And when it comes to Steam, once the game's out, that's it, you're done. You don't get the chance to refund that. It goes onto your account, it sits there, and for what? What did you gain? A skin pack? Some free game that you could have picked up for $3 on 25 different Steam sales in the past?
But in 2004, John was diagnosed with terminal cancer. But he never stopped producing content. He continued streaming and advocating for gamers up until his unfortunate passing in 2018. His influence extended beyond his lifetime. This Twitch emote is actually Totalbiscuit himself, and was inspired by his laughter. Totalbiscuit showed the world that a WoW player could be more than just a gamer. He could be a critic, a teacher, and a community leader. Through raids, battlegrounds, and expansions, John Bain left a legacy in WoW that continues to inspire creators and players alike. If you want me to cover more OG WoW YouTubers or streamers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you missed the first episode, click right here. If I missed a content creator you would like me to mention in the next part, let me know down in the comments below. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one.